Where's the music? Wisdom teething lend me your ear. Dr. D Nice and FOUNT is here for the day. Want wisdom?
We've got you.
Wellness?
We got you.
Ears?
You got two.
Phones? It's got 3. Chambers? 4. In your heart for doing right? 5. Keys? Your game's all tight? FOUNT. Get your mind right and your body tight. Get your mind right and your body tight. Get your mind right and your body tight. Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode 93 to be exact, of Talking Truth to Teen Issues. Tissues. Achoo. There was a little buffer in there. Are you all ready for the show? I'm so excited that y'all are here. Listen, today, you saw it in the title, we're talking about chub. We're digging deep into the reason why so many of us are so chubby these days. We're talking about it. What's up, James? Welcome to our little Wednesday evening crew. I'm hearing the echo in my microphone. Welcome. We got the crew, building up the crew here. I really should start putting it up on Facebook when I'm going live, or Instagram. I'm just such a lazy person about this. I'm really going to start so we can expand our family. But yes, we're talking about the real reason why so many of us are overweight and struggling with our weight. I got 10 of them. Some of them medical, some of them not. It's going to be exciting. Then, we always have to, I'm a whole doctor. I have to throw in some sort of health advice, and it's going to be in FOUNT. I'm talking about exercise today, and we're rounding up our teen archetype section. We're talking about a producer. Y'all know that my oldest son, he is a musician. He wants to be a professional musician, and I was inspired to talk about the producer, a teen archetype. And there's been this woman, Olivia, somebody or another, she got married the other day. There was some big thing about modesty. And of course, in our FOCK section, we've got to talk about modesty today. And then we're going to end up the show telling you how I nearly had a concussion one time. It's crazy. There's lots of lessons to be learned in that. First of all, I don't know. Are y'all clumsy people? I'm not clumsy at all, but this time you might as well have thought I was clumsy, because I busted my whole head, and it's so funny. It's crazy, but it's true. And there's some lessons that we all can learn about it. And let's just get right in. Before we start, how's everybody doing? You know what? Let's do our DM for the Yute them section first, and then we'll get into how everybody's doing. All right? Okay. Let's see. As usual, I got to set up our thing that goes with it. Let's get an Instagram and make sure the sound is ready. Are you ready, sound? It is. And let's go.
Let me down slowly, a little sympathy, I hope you can show me. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're leaving, baby, let me down slowly. Let me down, down, let me down, down, let me down, let me down, down, let me down, down, let me down. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're leaving, baby, let me down slowly. And I can't stop myself from falling. From falling, and I can't stop myself from falling. And I can't stop myself from falling. Could you find a way to let me?
Is this how you all feel about the scale? Is this what happens to you every time you have to head to the bathroom scale and you just fall out? You are so shocked about what it's telling you, you can't handle it. Well, you know what they say. the best way to getting to solution for something is to accept it, first of all, to acknowledge that it's happening to you, and then understanding it. Today, we will understand chub, understand fat. And, I feel that I'm the right person to speak about it. I have put on some weight over the years, be it menopause, be it having a bunch of kids back to back. And I know a lot of you younger people out there, you're dealing with that too. And it's not just a body image thing, and it's not that you're not able to accept yourself. We know that obesity is a huge, high percentage, higher than it used to be in younger populations and, of course, in older. Let's just go through the top 10 reasons why me, Dr. G. Nice Bogelin, the happiest doctor on the planet, thinks that many of us are so overweight. Let's talk about number one. The first one is we haven't adjusted our intake to the stage in life that we are. Listen, the truth of the matter is when you're young, you need to eat more frequently. You need to eat a little differently. Carbohydrates tend to be something that you tend to reach for more as a kid. And you need to eat more frequently, like I said before. As you get older, when you get into middle school and high school and young adult, the frequency of meals need to go down, and even the size. If you're an athlete, you may need more protein, more carbohydrates right before the game. You may need to eat larger meals, have more calories in. If you're lifting weights, if you're running, if you're doing the high intensity physical training, you may need more food to eat. If you're just sitting around studying for your math tests all day, you don't need all that much food. And we are just not adjusting our caloric intake, the amount of food that we need to eat based on our stage in life and our activity level. We shut off. We're not listening to those little, and our body signals to us. It really does. And we've just not been trained. We're not trained ourselves to listen to those signals that our body gives us. That's number one. Number two is our gut bacteria. Have y'all heard about the gut bacteria? Have you heard about it? Well, let me tell you about it. The bacterial makeup of your gut depends on the type of food that you eat. For example, if you eat a lot of sugary, fatty foods, the bacteria in your gut tends to be the predominantly amount of bacteria that there is, the bacteria that loves fatty, sugary foods. The bacteria is going to be there. You can't sterilize yourself. You need those bacteria there to help you function, to help. It does so much. We can do a whole show about the gut microbiome. You've heard, this is not new to you all. You know it's important. You know it's there. What you may not know is depending on the food that you eat is the type of bacteria that tends to predominate in that microbiome. If you eat fruits and vegetables, then you grow the nicer bacteria, the bacteria that works with your body and not against it. You're eating foods that's causing your gut microbiome to be off, not the right one. All right, that's number two. Fruits and vegetables, those are the ones that's going to get your gut microbiome to where you need it to be, or else you are going to be craving the bacteria that loves sugar. It's going to be telling you, eat sugar, eat sugar, eat sugar, eat sugar, eat sugar, eat fat, eat fat, eat fat, eat fat. That bacteria that loves sugar is not going to be saying, eat a vegetable, eat a vegetable. It's not going to say that. It's against its nature. It wants sugar. You're going to have to work hard to correct that gut microbiome. I did say three. Next, three. Addicting foods. You've heard the conspiracy. You have heard it. Where's my, hold on. Yeah. Yes, you've heard it a long time before that these people, I don't know who they are, but they have decided to make these foods super addicting. They make you crave them based on how they balance the sugar and the fat content and the salt content. And before you know it, just like the Pringles commercial, you can't just eat one. They know you can't eat one because it's set up and formulated in a way that your body just craves it. You put one in and it's like, I gotta have another one. And that's where you are. The foods are very addicting. And those tend to be the foods that, yeah, if you ate just one or two, no biggie, you're good. Good to go solo. It's that nice little flavor. Got a little sugar, a little salt, a little fat, no big deal. But you can't eat one. Before you know it, the serving size is 3 chips, and you've had 73. And therein lies the dilemma. 73 of those chips has about 500 million calories, and you sit on the couch all day. And what do you expect? We're all going to be a little chubby. That's all how it works. And speaking of sitting on the couch all day, that is number 4. Number 4 is inactivity. The statistic out there is that most adults sit about 6 hours a day, while most teenagers are sitting, no, let me reverse that. Most teenagers are sitting about 6 hours a day and adults about 8. So adults, we not doing that great in the department of being active. Our office jobs, our carpool and commute, it's just not doing it for us. We're ending up sitting a whole lot, and sitting is, other than causing a lot of hemorrhoids, it's just not, it's a very passive position. It just doesn't require a lot of muscles to keep you grounded in that chair. The chair is doing all the work. When you're standing now, you have your glutes that are engaged, you have your hamstrings, your quadriceps, your core is engaged just to keep you upright. It really requires a little bit more muscle energy. And of course, if you're upright, you may be moving and on running, walking, those kind of things. Being upright tends to lend itself to more physical activity. When you're sitting down all the time, that's it. And basically, the majority of us spend the whole day sitting. We're not a very active bunch anymore. And, there's the basal metabolic rate. And sorry, if I'm getting too sciencey, let me know. There's the basic energy that it takes to run your body. And then if you increase the activity level, then it requires more energy. And what we're doing is we're eating the same amount of food or more and have a low energy lifestyle, low energy expenditure, where if we just end up with a net positive at the end of every day. We have not used up all the calories that we've taken in. And then, it's got to go somewhere. And it goes on your hips, it goes on your gut, goes on your arms, goes on your chin. Where else? You let me know in the comment section, where do you hold and store those extra donut or Pringles that you can't eat just one? Where do you store them when you've overdone it? All right, number 5, snacking. Well, I told you before, snacking is horrible. I mean, it just overtaxes, of course, the digestive system. And then on top of that, you are eating at a time, especially if you're not in kindergarten. I may even give you elementary school. If you're not in elementary school, snacking is not for you. You have set meal times: breakfast, lunch, dinner. There needs to be about 4 hours in between each of those. And honestly, after a while, once you're getting a little past about to Dr. D Nice's age where you're not going to be having no more children. Your body is now just old, on the decline. It just is what it is. I'm not talking in a bad way about myself. It just is. I have lived the majority of my life. Right now, my body I'm not going to have kids. I'm not growing. There's nothing that's growing in me. Everything is heading downwards. Even during that time, especially, really need to limit the amount of food that you eat because your body just does not need that extra energy to do much. I got a little sidetracked. Cut out the snacking. It's not cute. I know all them commercials, all them little snacky food and chips and crisp and wherever country you're from that you call those things. It's not giving. All it's giving you is fat. Number 6. I'm sorry. I'm just going in on everything. I want to make sure you all understand what's going on. When you put all these things together, that is why the majority of us are fat these days. It is what it is. And if we know, knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. No playing outside. That's the one I've given to number 6. We just don't do a lot of stuff outside anymore. And as a matter of fact, if you wanted to go outside and play a game, everything, you got to join a little league. There's no just spontaneous, oh, let's just go outside and play. You got to get your parents to drive you to the field. You got to sign up and pay your entry fee. And then the games are scheduled on the third Wednesday of each month. And then the next game, it's just like a whole you may not even make the team. Forget it. You may not even make the team. Let's just throw that out there. You are not able to play. You want to play, but you can't play because you ain't make the team. The way we have sports and outdoor activities set up these days, it's not even free. There's nobody for you to play with because everybody that you could have potentially played with, they made the team and you didn't. Playing outside is just not the thing. And then on top of it, we've monetized it to the point that there's not a lot of opportunities for kids to just be out there playing. It's just so strange what we've done. But it is what it is. I'm just showing it out there. 7, we eat because of culture, because of convenience, because of cost, because of comfort, rarely because of health benefits. That's how we pick our foods. People, Christmas time, Thanksgiving, you know exactly what needs to be on the menu. You know exactly who needs to cook it. It don't even matter whether this stuff is good for you or not. It don't matter because it's Christmas. That's what we're supposed to eat. It's Thanksgiving. That's what we're supposed to eat. It's 4th of July. That's what we're supposed to eat. And nobody is thinking like, are we really supposed to be eating this? What is this really doing to our bodies? We're just eating culture, convenience. You're like, oh, this is all we can afford right now. And here's a fallacy that I want to uncover today. It is not true. Eating healthy is not more expensive than eating unhealthy. They amount to about the same thing. And in the long run, if you count the health costs, the diabetes, the high blood pressure that some of you all, oh man, I'm getting a hot flash. y'all my people, I could share it. I should always like keep a rag here with me or something. Because that's just what my life is like these days. Anyway, we're not choosing foods for health. And here's the amazing thing. Healthy foods can be so flavorful. They can taste so good. The other day, just today, I saw this thing. Let me see if I could find it. You know what? Let me see if I could find this here. I'm gonna see if I could find this here for y'all. Give me a second. Because it was just the craziest thing. They had, hold on. Let me see if I could find it. Okay. Yeah, I found it. Here, hold on. Let's watch this together. Let me bring it over here. Here.
These are these huge nets. And guess what they're for? These nets are to keep the bees out. And so right now, the trees are setting the crop for mandarins that are going to get harvested next winter. And nobody wants seeds in their mandarins. So this variety is W. Murcott, which is a cool variety. That's what they look like. If there's bees that get in there and they get pollen from another citrus into here, it makes a bunch of seeds. And the citrus industry actually sued the apiary industry over this a long time ago. And the result was these big nets. And these are actually fishing nets. But it's really interesting, like impressive really, to see these ginormous nets going over the whole thing and stopping all of the bees from getting in there. And that's how we create seedless mandarins. These are...
Did you all hear that? So basically, they have to put a net over these oranges to prevent the bees from pollinating it because they don't want seed. They don't want. Somebody decided that, because it wasn't us. Did you all remember writing a letter to anybody saying, "I don't want seeds in my mandarins, please"? No, they just kind of make these things. It's just a matter of controlling the foods that we get a hold of. And the orange people actually sued the bee people, saying that your bees are pollinating our oranges and getting seeds in them. Craziness! Like, what are we doing? That's what I'm talking about. And we accept it. This is the politics of food, where we just eat because of culture, convenience, cost, comfort. And it's just a mess. It's an absolute mess. I'm sorry. I know I'm getting a little preachy right now, too, which kind of falls into number 8. Falls right into what number 8 is. It's advertising. Sometimes we don't really pick our foods ourselves. We pick what's been sold to us. We pick what we saw on the television. There was some... And I want to quote the research properly. Like, these kids, they can pick out McDonald's. They can know the McDonald's symbol, the jingle. They know these things about these fast foods, and they're little tiny babies, kids. And these are just almost like brainwashing psyop tactics to get you to want these kind of foods. It just is what it is. I just showed you this whole thing where they've told us that we don't want seeds in our fruits, and that's what it is. And these growers have sued. I'll give you a second. They sued bee people because their bees were getting in. I'm just so confused. This is the hot mess. Our foods are a hot mess because the people that are selling us our foods are absolute hot mess. It's just all about money and not about caring for their customers. I've mentioned it before in the past, how it's the weirdest thing that one would think you want to keep your audience healthy so they can buy more of your stuff. But that's not how they look at it. They want to get that money right now, and fine if it kills you, if it kills you. They're not thinking about tomorrow like that. They just want to get their money out of you, and so be it. Maybe they own the hospitals too. I need to look and see who signed my check. No, I'm just kidding. No. Anyway, number 9 is lack of body control, lack of body awareness, lack of body respect. We just don't even understand how our body works. We don't. Basic anatomy, who knows? What's that? Digestion? How does that work? Metabolism? What is that? We have no idea how our body is functioning. And when you just don't know, when you're ignorant to the mechanisms of your body, it's easy to people people to sweep in and tell you anything and confuse you and confound you. And then, you're just like, you know what? Forget it. I'll just eat the potato chips. I don't care. Some people are saying eat a vegetable. Some people say, no, eat more protein, eat more carnivores. It just ends up being a confusing mess. And because you don't even understand your body, you're not even paying attention to the natural signals that God put inside of you to understand hunger and cravings and appetite and stopping eating. You don't understand these things, and you're just there. And the last one is number 10. Is you're not sleeping. People are not sleeping and they're stressed out, and you end up, when you haven't slept and you're stressed out, you just reach for foods that give you instant energy. Coffee, sugar, donuts, brownies, all of that. Ice cream. You just reach for them. You reach for them continuously. It's not like they're not used as a special treat. They're used to pacify your stress and your anxiety. They're used to energize you when you have not rested. Those are the 10 reasons. Let me know in the comment section. There are tons more. I just, we weren't going to be here all day. I just wanted to highlight the 10 that I thought were most important. Of course, we can check back with me next week, next year, and those 10 may be totally different. Let me know in the comment section below. What y'all think? Why are we fat? It's not a good thing. And, knowledge is power. And now that we understand some of these things, we can do something about it. All right, fellas. Where y'all been? What happened last week? I was here all by myself. All by myself. I was by myself. What happened? Let me see. I think I saw one of y'all wrote up here. Let's see. Fell asleep again in the Vegas heat. It was so bad. I now sleep during the day and vampire at night. Spot, were you here? We're the same. Where were you? We are the same person on 2 different accounts. So obviously I was with you. You are such a troll. Y'all are killing me. Well, I missed y'all. I'm sorry. It keeps buffering a little bit. And my bad. But yeah, obviously, I was here. I missed you all, but I did have the show. I had to because I was leaving on Wednesday to head down to Charlotte to visit my family. All right. I don't see any comments down there. So we'll just keep it moving. I'm sure that y'all will put something in at some point. Okay. Now our FOUNT section. FOUNT is the 5 keys to wellness and wisdom to help you unlock your best. And today we are not talking about the F in FOUNT. We're talking about the T. Let's see. Prayer time. It's not prayer time yet. We still got it. I know that first part was long. I'm sorry. We're going to blow through the rest of it. Oh, you're saying you need some special prayer? At the end, I'll ask if you want to put it in there or just leave it on said and just let me know that you need some special prayer. Would for sure say a prayer for you. Exercise. If you're a teenager, you need 60 minutes of exercise every single day. If you're an adult, 150 minutes of exercise for the whole entire week. That would be about 30 minutes, 5 days a week. Moderate intensity exercise where if you were asked to sing, you couldn't, but you could carry on a regular type conversation. Make sure you're getting your exercise. It's going to be absolutely important. If you want to throw it in extra high intensity interval training, it's a better type of exercise if you really want to work on losing weight. I'm working on losing some weight. This menopause weight has got to go. I'm already down about 10, maybe 11, maybe 12, depending on what the scale is saying, pounds. And it's super exciting. Really what I'm doing is just, I realized that, pretty much I got to eat air. Right now, I told y'all I'm an older woman. My body is not growing. I don't require that much calories as I did a few years ago, even when I was having children. And I just have to adjust the amount of calories I take in. You know what I want to do? I'm sorry, this is a little off. I want to get my metabolic rate measured. There's some place I saw that does it, and I may set up an appointment to get it done. You know what? I'm going to write that on my to-do list to get it done tomorrow. Get your not tomorrow, but to schedule it at least. All right. Yeah, so that's our FOUNT section. Now we go into our FOCK section. We're talking about modesty. I'm not going to stay here too long talking about, listen, modesty is important. Girls, you keep your private parts covered as much as possible. Men are very visual. You may say they shouldn't look because you didn't ask them to look. That's just not how life works. Cover yourself up as much as you can. You don't want to be trapped with a killer and them just glaring at you like that. You don't want to invite unnecessary looks. Some people will look. There's some of them that don't matter what you got on. They're going to undress you with their eyes. Don't matter. And then on top of it, boys, you also can be modest. You don't have to be walking around shirtless and super tight pants, showing off your bulges, showing off your bulges in the back, bulges in the front, bulges in your biceps. You don't have to walk around wanting to show off your body. You also can be immodest. So keep it down to a dull roar. Okay. Oh man, I should play these little videos in between each segment. What is this one? I don't even remember. I told you I had a roach chase me before. That gave me like a little PTSD moment. This roach seriously chased me. We're going to talk right now. It's our producer. You know them. That is the musician. It's that one kid in your school that always got a beat going. He's got his headphones on. He is ready to produce a beat at any time. He may be tapping on the desk, singing out loud, rocking to something. You start talking to him. He's talking about amplifiers and EQs and balancing and all of this. You don't even know half the thing what he's talking about because he is so engrossed in his music. He's a producer. He has beats that he wants to share with the world. You know what, producer guy? Do your thing. Go out there, go off, sell those beats, make $1 million, become the next Pharrell or the next Timberland. Do your thing. Go off then. You got to start somewhere. That's my message to my son, too, because he really wants to write and produce music and sing music, too. When he starts putting his music out there, I will for sure let you know. By the way, he actually produced a beat for our Wisdom Teethinger show. Wisdom Teething. He did that when he was younger. How old was he? Man, he must have been like, that was about 4 years ago. 14? 13? Oh man. Anyway, all right, let's wrap things up. Now, let me find another one for us to watch. Okay, this one's kind of cool. Countdown for my countdown, my Wisdom Teethinger countdown, my top 10 reason why we're fat. I didn't think it all the way through. Next time I have a top 10, I'm gonna borrow their little marching band formation. Well, they're not even a band, they're just doing a formation. Okay, let's wrap it up. Let me tell you all about this story that it's painful. Like literally, it's painful. I was in medical school, and this was my second year in medical school. And we lived on the third floor, I feel. And I had two roommates. We were all in medical school together, same grade. We're still friends to this day. And they were gone already. And I was heading to school. Y'all, if y'all are in high school, it's not, you go to classes at different times depending on your schedule. Doesn't matter. Medical school, I was by myself, and I was heading to the parking garage. I had a pickup truck at the time. It was a blue Toyota 4x4 pickup truck. Love that thing. I had to sell it years ago, but that's beside the point. I was heading to my truck. And typically I would walk to school. I don't know why I was driving this time. I wish I could remember. Let's just make something up. I had a big, large project in the back of my truck that I had to carry, right? That sounds good, like a good enough reason why I wasn't walking to school that day. Because it was in Galveston, Texas. I lived maybe a mile from the school, maybe. I don't even think it was that much. It was just real close. Anyway, got down to the parking garage. Now, the parking garage was like, those partially covered. So there's a cover here, and an opening in between. And we kind of came out the door, like you come down the stairs in the hallway, and you have a door to the parking garage. And I have no idea. I didn't drive my car much because we're on this Galveston Island thing, I guess. I don't know. I stepped, and the step wasn't there. It's just one little step down I needed to go down, and the step wasn't there. And at least that's had to be the reason why all of a sudden I plummeted to the ground, busted my head. Well, it didn't bust. Okay, I'm being sarcastic. Exaggerating, hit my head, bam, on the concrete. I was this close. You know those little concrete things that prevent you from parking your car too close to the building, little speed bump things? I was this close to hitting it, connecting with it. If I had done it, my head would have been cracked open, and they'd have just found me dead. There was no one in the parking lot because everybody walked to where they need to go. The building was mostly full of students, and if I had busted my head and gotten unconscious, I'd have been donezo. Do you hear me? That was to be, I still think about it. It was like a near miss. Have you ever had a near miss in your life where you came this close to having a life-threatening accident, or this close to be stranded and in a position where you could not do anything to help yourself, where you could have died even? That's what I think about that situation. And it pops in my head all the time. When it was back then, it was like, what, 80, 98, something like that. Right after it happened, for a long time, I kept like a little PTSD moment anytime I thought about, imagine if I just want one more inch and I'd have busted my head open. Or imagine if I'd hit harder and I'd been knocked out unconscious and nobody would have found me. Sometimes we spend a lot of time really thinking about the what ifs in life. Well, wisdom understands that the what ifs were not. That's not what happened. You lived. I did not hit the little humpy, parky curve thing. I did not get knocked out unconscious. I hit my head, a little bruise, and that was it. Thank you, Jesus. Then there is stupidness. They sit and they ruminate and live in that place of what if. Oh, what if, what if, what if? And they never move from there. It paralyzes them to ever drive again, to ever walk in that parking lot by themselves again. Not saying that you can't learn to be safe after that. There are lessons to be learned. It just doesn't paralyze you. A place of rumination is not the place to be. Don't live in the what ifs. Live in the what did happen and move on with your life. Anyway, there you have it. Wisdom, stupidness. Choose wisdom. Remember, show me your brightest. Show me your best. Show me the latest guru. God's wisdom lets theirs look like stupidness. Okay. Any special prayer requests? I know Magic 8 Ball Spot. Did you have some any prayer requests for me at all? Anyone? No prayer request? Okay. Well, I will just go ahead and do our usual prayer to end things. If you have a prayer request, go ahead and put them in there. I'm just going to assume that there is some, though, because you said prayer time? I don't know. I don't know if that's what that means. I'm good. You're good. Oh, okay. Spot, anything? Well, I'll do a general prayer. Let's pray for those who don't pray. Will do, for sure. That's important. Okay, let me say end. Give me a second. Okay, yes. Dear Jesus in heaven, thank you so much for all this amazing time to be here, talking with friends, talking into the interwebs, into the abyss. It's not as abyssy because there are friends here, Spot and Magic 8 Ball, and the snake oil powder, organic snake oil powder, and James and whoever will be watching this stream afterwards are here. Please be with their lives. Help there be some lessons that happened that can affect their lives, that can affect their decision making, and just be with the people that don't really know you. Help them to know that you are life. You are with you. Helping and guiding their life is true happiness. Amen. All right. Short prayer. May the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord turns his face towards you and give you peace. May the Lord watch between me and you while we're absent one from another. Amen. Okay, guys, if you can think of any subject that you want me to talk about for next week, you could drop it in the comment section here, or just put it on a post, one of those things, and I'll look at that. Otherwise, what we're going to talk about next week is still just up in the air. All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in. You all are my people. I appreciate it so much. Missed you all last Thursday, but Tuesday, I completely understand. It is what it is. Where am I? Yeah. It was a change of plans, and honestly, sometimes when you change, it's hard to get like your habit. We're all creatures of habit, and just straight for God. All right, I'm out. I'm rambling now. Bye. Rambling.
Wisdom teething lend me your ear. Dr. D Nice and FOUNT is here for the day. Want wisdom?
We've got you.
Wellness?
We got you.
Ears?
You got two.
Bones? It's got 3. Chambers? 4. In your heart for doing right? 5. Keys? Your game's all tight? FOUNT. Get your mind right and your body tight. Get your mind right and your body tight. Get your mind right and your body tight.